You know, I can't think of a better topic than how do you take good leaders and make them great? Well, first of all, you got to make sure that they understand what great leadership's all about. You know what it is? It's about being a servant leader. You know, when I share about servant leader with people in industry, a lot of times people think I'm talking about the inmates running the prison or trying to please everybody or some kind of religious movement. It's really not. You have to understand that great leadership has two parts of it. First is the leadership part of servant leadership, which is about vision and direction and goals. Leadership's about going somewheres. You know, if people don't know where you want them to go, what's the chances of them getting there? Very little. And so they need to have that. And that's got to come from the traditional hierarchy. It's your responsibility to make sure people know what the vision is, which is what business are we in? You know, why are we here? You know, I work with Southwest Airlines, the only airline in the United States that makes any money. And you ask anybody there, they say, we're in the customer service business. We happen to fly airplanes. So everybody's clear. Second part of a real compelling vision is, what are you trying to accomplish? And they say, we want to democratize the airways, because they felt that too many people flying in the 70s were just wealthy folks or business people and all. And so democratize, meaning that everybody should be able to be with a friend and a relative in a happy time and a sad time. And then the final thing that's so important is, what are the values that are going to guide the journey? And they have four values. One is safety, because of the industry that they're in. Then they want everybody to have a warrior spirit, which is not combative, but if you got a job, do it. And boy, they can turn a plane around faster than anybody else. Second value they want every day for people is to have a servant's heart. So they hire for character, and then they'll train for skills. They want people that are really there to serve. And then finally, it's one of their whole cultural things. They want a fun-loving attitude. They're just great at having fun. I was on a plane a while back, and they had a really hard landing, and the steward got on the PA system and said, you probably wonder what caused that hard landing. He said, I checked with the pilot, and he said it wasn't his fault, it was Ash's fault. And, you know, they're always fooling around and having a good time and all. But that's what a compelling vision tells you: who you are, where you're going, and what's going to guide your journey. And then you put goals under that. Now they have some meaning, and you can put initiatives and all. But that's the leadership part of servant leadership. And great leaders understand that that's got to be set up first. Then you move to the servant part of servant leadership. And now what you do is you turn the pyramid upside down. And now what is the top management doing? They're at the bottom of the hierarchy, and they're doing everything they can to serve everybody, who eventually serves your external customers, the customers that are using your products and services. And all the energy is going up the hierarchy. You know, good leaders, self-serving leaders sometimes, they love that hierarchy, you know, and they want everybody sucking up the hierarchy, and they like the special parking place and all that kind of thing. But then when the customers deal with you, you're talking with ducks. They're going quack, 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 quack. It's our policy, quack, quack. I just didn't make the rules, quack, quack. You know, you want to talk to my supervisor, quack, 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 quack. You know, and that drives people crazy, where if you turn that pyramid upside down and you empower the frontline people, you got eagles. Those are people who are soaring above the crowd. They say, I'll take care of it, no problem. Let's get it done. You know, and that's what's really exciting and all. But now you're in the servant part of servant leadership. Now, how's that play out in terms of your total organization? Well, how do you manage people's performance? How do you make people great performers? How do you make good leaders great? Well, there's three parts of that. There's performance planning. And what is performance planning? That's when you set the goals and objectives. That's when you do the leadership part of servant leadership. And part of that also, and you'll all be learning about situational leadership, is after goals are set, you want to analyze what is the development level of that person. And so you can start to give them the right leadership style that they need, because you're going to recognize you not only need different strokes for different folks, you need different strokes for the same folks on different parts of their job. And so what you do is you analyze development, determine the appropriate leadership style. That's all in performance planning, and that's the responsibility of a good manager, of a great leader, to make sure people know what the plan is, what you're trying to accomplish, and what's going to be done. Then you move to the second part of managing people's performance, which is day-to-day coaching. And now that's when you turn the pyramid upside down. And that's where you're praising progress, like a one-minute manager, catching people doing things right. If they get off of track and make a mistake or something, you redirect their energy, get them back onto the right course. You're not there to punish people. You're there to build their confidence and keep them performing well. And then the final part is performance evaluation. And what happens with a lot of leaders is that they think that the most important part of those three things, performance planning, day-to-day coaching, and performance evaluation, is the evaluation part, And, you ask people, where do you spend your most time? Oh, it's evaluation. Yeah, because they're filling out all these stupid forms on people. And then they're analyzing them on stuff that nobody knows what it is, like initiative, willingness to take responsibility, promotability. What does that mean? I don't know, but I better suck up the hierarchy because they're going to hand out the good marks because, most people have this normal distribution mindset. Great leaders want everybody to get an A. They want everybody to be able to accomplish the goals. So what they do is they are really clear on goals and objectives and the performance planning. A lot of organizations don't do a bad job, but then they file them. And so somebody said, you got your annual performance review, and everybody's running around trying to find it. They skip the day-to-day coaching because that's where the real action is. That's where great leaders really excel, because after the planning is done, after people are clear of what's being accomplished, then they are there to praise the progress, to redirect their efforts, to be there to coach them and all, because the goal is at the end of the year, you want people to be able to get A's, to be able to be high performers. You don't want a normal distribution curve. How many of you go out and hire losers? We lost some of our best losers last year. We need to hire some new losers to fill those low slots. No, you either hire winners you steal from other companies, or you hire potential winners that you think can be good if somebody trains them, and your job is to train them. And so what we want to do is make sure that people understand that your job is to help people win. And you do that by making sure that you understand all about servant leadership, about the leadership part, and making sure everybody knows where they're headed and what you're trying to accomplish. And then the servant part, where you're now into day-to-day coaching and all that, because what you want to do is help people win. And I'm going to give you one final thought, is if you think of nothing else but what I've said, is you need to, every one of you, if you want to be a great leader and you want to produce great leaders, you need to have your people have a meeting of 15 to 30 minutes once every 2 weeks at a minimum with each of their direct reports. The manager's got to schedule a meeting, but the agenda is set by the direct report. And it's their job to talk about anything they want, including they might have a sick kid, maybe they have to work at home, they want to talk about a goal and all. If you met with each of your people 26 times a year for 15 to 30 minutes, you don't want to go over 30 minutes, you don't want to make this a big laboring kind of thing. Would you know them? Would they know you? You better believe it. And at the end of the year, you'd really have a performance evaluation that was really a review, not sort of, I'm going to fill this form out on you and all. Great leaders know that they're there to serve, not to be served, and they want their people to win. And you're going to learn about that in all kinds of different ways. But I want you to understand that's what great leadership is all about. And to create great leaders, they got to understand that. So you have a great time. It's going to be a wonderful conference. I wish I was there. We're going to be there, I think, in 2015 in Israel, and I just love it. And look forward to meeting some of you when I'm there. God bless.